now going to turn to our final conversation with Chef Marcela Valladolid, a best-selling author and the founder and CEO of Matriarca Foods. Give her a round of applause. Nice to see you. I'm so happy that she's here. So, yeah, give her a round of applause. It's great.
Everybody has thanked Roberta tonight, so I'm going to thank Roberta too, because I've been with the Lundberg guys for a little bit.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Roberta's great. Give it up for Roberta.
Yes.
All right, Chef, let's start with the reason that you started Matriarca Foods. It's very personal. It's very deep for you.
Yes. Is this close enough? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So Matriarca Foods started as a very personal need for me to be able to create the foods that I grew up with. I grew up on the south side of the border. I grew up in Tijuana, Mexico. And I would cross the international border to go to school every day in San Diego. And because we're in northern Mexico, we had no access to organic foods like they do in central Mexico, where there's still, avid farming, obviously, and all these things. And I was just 20 years in the making, this brand, just thinking about how frustrating it is that in my travels through Mexico, I have families all over Mexico, to not be able to reproduce the foods that I grew up with in just a clean way because I wanted to feed my kid.
Sure,
that was the goal.
Sure.
So back in the day, 1996, I think they opened the first Whole Foods in La Jolla. I would cross the border with my newborn Fausto, who's now 21, to try and source organic ingredients on the U.S. side of the border to create my organic foods in Mexico, which is just crazy if you think about it. That I was crossing the international border to be able to feed organic to my child.
Right.
So I would supplement, and I would get the food from Whole Foods and cross the border back into Mexico and go to the Mercado Hidalgo and buy chiles and all the things that I use for cooking and try to recreate those meals. And obviously there's a lot of organic food brands in the market now, but I still felt there was a white space for what I call the building block ingredients. I will never create something that you open it and you eat it. I want to inspire people to cook. So that's why all of the products in the catalog are building blocks or finishers or something that will inspire you to cook and me to make it better.
Yeah, that inspiration is so key. It sparks that creativity that you want in home cooks like me.
Completely. It was born out of necessity. And it has become, I had a company before. It was called Casa Marcela, and it was actually very successful. I was bringing artisanal product from Mexico with the same idea to highlight artisanal work from Mexico. And the reason I changed the name to Matriarca is because I wanted it to separate from the brand. I didn't want the pressure.
Sure.
And then I realized that no, Matriarca is about us. It's about me. It's about the moms.
Yeah.
We're the ones making all the choices for the homes. We've got all the power. The Latina moms and their purchasing power. We know all these stats. And Matriarca is about me. It's about us.
I love it. I love it. There's going to be a dish passed around for everyone in the audience to enjoy. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Of course. You're going to get a waffle that is made with Landrace corn masa harina, and it's topped with a fried quail egg, some smoked salmon, and some salsa macha, which is not mine because they sent it to the wrong place. But that's okay. What I wanted to and it was like the best part, but that's okay. Everything happens for a reason, and it was for me to focus on the Landrace masa harina, which is so important too. Corn is the lifeblood of Mexico.
Yeah.
And I think everybody in this room knows the issues with GMO corn and corn dumping. And honestly, that's not my specialty, but I know a lot about it just because of Matriarca. And landrace corn that we source in the Yucatan, our corn specifically is called Nal Soy, Nal-XOY. The same name it's had since Mayan times. And it is so hard to get people to understand what they're missing or the comparison from eating a landrace corn grown in the limestone-rich soil of the Yucatan compared to conventionally grown, genetically modified corn. Corn product, tortilla product, like tortillas or tortilla chips or soft or the tacos. We don't eat those in Mexico. The crunchy taco shells,
Sure.
those things. it's something like a $20 billion market in the U.S. And people have no idea that the only ingredients that need to be in a corn-based product that pretends to be a tortilla or a tortilla chip are just two, which is the corn and slaked lime. That's it. And the slaked lime is so important because it is the key ingredient for the process of nixtamalización, which makes all of the nutrients bioavailable to your body. And it's like not even apples and oranges. It's like apples and plastic.
Wow.
And the nutrient density there, you guys were talking about nutrient density and the power of keeping nutrients in the soil. The masa harina that you're eating has literally been passed down from generation to generation to generation, and it was hard for us to secure that production. Very hard for us to secure that production, and I drove my partners crazy in Mexico. But we got it, and you're eating it.
That's great. Well, on that point, what kind of messaging do you find most effective when you're trying to get eaters to eat products that are new to them?
Yes.
Not new to the world, but new to them.
Well, I'm going to have to pivot on that question because, okay, I'm going to start this by kind of showing off a little bit because
Please.
We had our first drop of Matriarca at the beginning of this month, and we had a inventory that was supposed to last us a month, and it lasted 48 hours.
Oh, wow.
And the reason that happened, or what it proved to me, is that my community, because I know my numbers, I know my stats, and it's mostly the Latina community that follows me and purchases my product.
Sure.
Are so desperate for these products.
Yeah.
So I don't even need to educate my current consumer on what to do with this product. For them, it becomes an immediate connection and a badge of honor to something they've been looking for forever.
It tastes like home.
It's home. And the goal for Matriarca, obviously, is to widen that footprint and to find, it's very difficult. In Mexico, it's something like 20 million metric tons of chile are grown each year, and 0.01% of that is organic. And for Matriarca to track it down and put it in your matcha, you have no idea what that looked like for us logistically. Like, it was insane. But we did it. And I'd be lying if I told you it was hard to convince my consumer to try this product because they've been looking for it forever.
You're meeting their need.
Forever. And I love that we're in this time now. I was telling Philip, who's the father of my kids and also my partner and agent and all of the things, that it's, as a person that has a social media platform, it's you have to be really careful now, and I love it because I post something and my followers ask me, is it clean? Where does it come from? Is it organic?
Oh, that's
is
great.
it regenerative? Like, questions I wasn't getting. When I was crossing the border to get organic food from Whole Foods in 1996, people thought I was crazy. Like, exagerada. Like, you're so like, it's not that big a deal. Just give them a Gerber. And I was like, no, I'm gonna make it from scratch. But now it's almost demanded of you. And I love that for me. I love that for my community.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you do lead with deliciousness and health, but you're interweaving environmental sustainability into all of your messaging. That's, you're taking people on a path, and that must be exciting for you and for them.
Yeah, I said from the beginning, and I had to sit my partners down at some point and told them, almost half of the investment is going to be in the food and the production. I said, and almost the other half of the investment is going to be in education. And really, tomarlos de la mano, taking people by the hand and telling them, no, this is the difference in that tortilla and this tortilla. And this is the difference in this chile and this chile. And not just from the perspective of it not being riddled with pesticides, but from a flavor standpoint as well. Amorita chile grown, organically in, the foothills in the town in the outskirts of Mexico, it's going to taste much better than anything you can find in a conventionally grown field.
Right. and just taking people on that journey, getting them to
Completely,
understand it.
completely. And being gentle with it. And I say this all the time. Like, at some point, someone is going to grab a picture of me getting a Happy Meal from the drive-thru.
Sure.
Right? Like, I'm a mom. And I'm not talking about everybody being like a savior. I'm talking about we have to be able to have a choice, though. I needed to be able to have a choice. And that's why I built Matriarca, because my community, I mean, we're not doing so well. Like, that's another panel that we need to be on. But the Latina community, in terms of disease, obesity, prediabetes, all these, the numbers are not good for my community specifically. And that's why Matriarca was born. For that reason.
No, thank you for creating it. You have said to me that you're trying to be mindful about scaling sustainability.
Yes.
What does that look like to you, and why is that such an important part of what you're feeling right now?
Yeah, it's like, it's very clear to us that right now we have 10 products in the catalog. And it's very clear to us that less than half of it we can, mass produce.
Yeah.
And I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, money's great, pays the mortgage, like, it's amazing, but that's not the drive here. The drive here for me is kind of just to spread information and health through the brand. So chiles are very important, but this is really important. Like, when I launched Matriarca, I have to be honest, I wasn't thinking about the farmers. I wasn't.
Right.
I was literally, the conversations with my partners were, we just have to source clean, organic, nutrient dense, landrace, criollo, ancestral, like that's what we were looking for. And this has all happened very quickly, but in the last few months, we've realized that because there are certain products in the line, like our salsa matcha, which everybody knows salsa matcha now, like the New York Times did a whole thing on salsa matcha, chicharrón de Chile, which is a slow fried chile, jalapeno chile in olive oil, packed in olive oil. In our landrace mazarina, for example, like, those are the products that we know that we can mass produce. And it is amazing that the response from farmer has been, oh my God, thank you for giving us a reason to go back to producing organically.
Wow.
or using our ancestral methods to go back to growing chiles the way my father used to grow chiles. We have, coming in January of 2026, one of the products that I'm going to end up being the most proud of is a tea blend. But it's made out of medicinal herbs grown in the chinampas, and I'll tell you what a chinampa is in a second, that is in Xochimilco, outside of Mexico City. Chinampas are floating gardens that have existed since Mayan times. And they literally, it's like the most gorgeous, you feel like you're in heaven when you're there. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced in my life. Floating gardens and next to the lagoon. And by process, they dig out all of the mud from the lagoon. They build a small pit, and they use the mud to grow just the seedlings. And then they transfer to larger fields. Our tea blend is going to come from there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's just, Matriarca is just about me traveling Mexico and finding these people. And to go back to your questions, because Philip always tells me I talk too much.
You're wrong, Philip.
No, I do. I get nervous and I ramble. Like, it is what it is.
I'm keeping you on track.
Yes, it's the goal has been finding people or farmers or co-producers, knowing that some of them will be able to create enough product. We don't want to stress them. We don't want to stress the production line. We want to keep the methods ancestral when possible. And that's Matriarca. Some things will be small batch, and some things, knock on wood, you'll be able to find nationwide.
Well, what I love about it is it's this mutual collaboration, but it's like this mutual opportunity and success that you're creating for both sides.
Yes, like I said, it wasn't part of the business plan.
Right.
It wasn't. But me being down there and speaking to them and meeting them, and what it does for their communities and what it does for their families, and more even than that, it's the pride that they feel for them, that there's interest in that in the USA. That we're creating a product that grew on their land with their hands, with their methods, passed down from generation to generation, and that can even exist in the supermarket in the United States of America, like that's a great conversation to have.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Chef, I've been asking everyone to leave the audience with a call to action. Anything
Yes.
come to mind to you?
Yeah, I wanted to go back to the tortilla. And I already told you what the 3 ingredients are that need to exist in a tortilla. And my call to action, just to create kind of awareness, is that next time that you're in the supermarket sourcing any tortilla-based product, that you turn it around. And if it has more than those 2 or 3 ingredients, if they add salt or water, put it back and grab something that only has those 3 ingredients.
What a great call to action. Thank you so much. You're a wonderful storyteller.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bigger round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to Lundberg Rice for inviting me. I love you guys so much.
Thank you.